Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Clarity Tarot and Astrology. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys are all doing very well and are excited for the month of July. In this video, we're going to be diving into the astrology of July. There's so much going on this month. We have three retrogrades, including a Mercury retrograde. We have Uranus that is moving into the sign of Gemini. And we also have Mars conjunct the South Node. So, very big energies. I think that this month is going to be a big turning point, and it's going to be really important to understand how these energies are going to be impacting us collectively, but also individually. So, I am going to explain this for each of the 12 signs as well. So, if you're interested in this, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and let's get started. So, wow, July, I feel, is going to be a very big month. So much going on. And the biggest thing that is going on is that Uranus, the planet of sudden, unexpected, unprecedented change, is going to be entering the sign of Gemini, which is a mutable sign. It's a sign that is very adaptable and very flexible. And with Uranus going into Gemini, this is really going to be turning up the volume. We're going to be picking up the pace. Life is going to start moving a lot faster and it's going to be a lot louder. And so it's very important to have your bearings. It's very important for you to be grounded and to know your truth and to be very clear about what your goals and your objectives are because there's going to be so much going on, so much news, all these changes that are happening, and it's going to be really easy to be overwhelmed. So, with this shift occurring this month, I do feel like there could be some big event or big news that shakes us up, that shocks us, something that happens that it's like, whoa, I didn't even think that was possible or that could happen. But it also helps us to not be so complacent because that is what Uranus wants. Uranus wants us to kind of stay on our toes and to not get stuck into a certain way of being and understanding that change is the only constant in life. And with Uranus going into Gemini, we're having to change our mindset. There are so many things about our world that are changing, and we really are making a transition this year, specifically in 2025, into a brand new world. And we already see that there are things about our old world that just don't work anymore, right? And I think that with Uranus going into Gemini, it's going to really solidify that. It's going to go, wow, okay. We always talk about the future. No, we are in the future. This is the future. And that's what I think July is going to show to us. We're also going to have Neptune that is going retrograde in the sign of Aries, Saturn's going retrograde in the sign of Aries, and Mercury is going retrograde in the sign of Leo. So, with all of these retrogrades, we are reviewing something, we're rethinking something, we're redoing something. And in everyone's life, it'll be different depending on where these energies are for you. But with all of these retrogrades happening, it's showing that we're having to take a step back and rethink a lot of things about our life because we're understanding that the world is changing. And if you have set your life up in a way that is not in alignment with where the world is going, you got to come up with a new plan. And for some people that have been adopting to the new world, sometimes you need to take a step back and look at what you're building and make sure that you're on the right path or integrate new information. So I do think that this month it's like a mixture of energies I think the world is going to be moving really fast, but we have to take the time to figure out what it means for us specifically. Another really important date to watch is going to be July 20th and a few days before, a few days after, because this is when Mars, the planet of action, aggression, anger, violence, is going to conjunct the South Node in Virgo. And these two energies coming together is showing some type of fated, forceful, powerful ending. So that can be interpreted in many different ways. And I do think that this is going to be referring to all of the geopolitical conflict that is going on in the world. So I think we need to be very careful around these days, um, watching what is going on in the world because it is going to have consequences. Besides that, we have our new moons and our full moons, and I'll talk about this for each of the 12 signs. But if you are interested in getting to know your chart more intimately and understanding what your purpose and mission is here on earth in this lifetime and what you should be doing at this time, then I highly recommend booking in a private reading with me, specifically a natal chart reading. A natal chart reading is the foundation of astrology. And when you understand your natal chart, you understand your purpose, your mission, the unique energy you bring to the world. It makes it a lot easier to understand what you should be doing at any given point in time. So if you are feeling unsure or confused, then book in for a reading. Now, I also offer many different types of readings: solar return readings, lunar return readings, synastry readings if you're into love, if you want to know when love is coming, etc. And I also do offer tarot. So do check out my website and do book a reading. All right, let's jump in to the predictions for each of the signs. For Aquarius and Aquarius rising, on July 2nd, we will have a first quarter moon in the sign of Libra, which for you is your ninth house of your beliefs and your philosophy about the world. Now, for Aquarius, you are literally becoming a whole brand new person. And so, because of that, a lot of your long standing beliefs that you have gained from society and your family and your upbringing and your childhood are being challenged. And at this time, one of those beliefs could be challenged, and this could be something that you're having to work through. On July 4th, Venus is going to enter the sign of Gemini, which for you rules your fifth house of love, dating, romance, children, and creativity. So, with Venus coming into your fifth house, this can make dating a lot smoother. Your connection with your children can go smoother. And if you have a side hustle or a hobby that you're really into, you can derive a lot of joy from doing this. Also, on July 4th, Neptune will go retrograde, and Neptune is currently transiting your third house of your mindset and your communication. Now, with Neptune transiting your third house, this can make it a little bit more difficult to express yourself or a little bit more difficult to think logically, as Neptune is much more ethereal. And so, with it going retrograde, you can actually have a little bit of an easier time communicating and expressing yourself. Then on July 7th, Uranus, the planet of sudden, unexpected, shocking events, is going to enter the sign of Gemini. And this is your fifth house of love, dating, children, creative hobbies and projects and side hustles. And so with Uranus here, this is going to be upgrading and updating this area of your life. And so there's a lot of different ways that this can manifest itself, but the way that you're doing things now in regard to these areas of your life are going to be completely different throughout the next several years. So stay tuned for more on that. On July 10th, we will have a full moon in the sign of Capricorn, which for you is your 12th house of your spirituality, of your spiritual journey, your mental health, forgiveness, and letting go. And so when you have a full moon in your 12th house, there's a big culmination that is occurring in your life, a big ending that is occurring. And likely it is time to let go of something, it is time to release something, to heal from it, and to let it go. And this is happening at 18 degrees, which is a Virgo degree, which rules your eighth house of death, rebirth, and transformation. So, wow, this is going to be a very powerful full moon for you because there's something about your psychology. There's something that is deeply within you, something that is deeply withheld in you that is needing to be released and let go of at this time. It could be a fear, it could be an insecurity, a vulnerability that you have that it's time to release it and let it go. This also can be in regards to an intimate partnership, or it could be in regards to a joint financial situation or a debt as well that you're needing to let go of at this time. Then on July 13th, Saturn will be going retrograde. And this is very important because you are ruled by Saturn. So when Saturn goes retrograde, you also go retrograde. You become more introverted, you become more reflective. And this is occurring in your third house of communication. So you definitely can be taking a step back in some way in regards to expressing yourself to the external world. Um, on July 13th, you're going to have a third quarter moon in this house as well. And so a third quarter moon is about reflecting and changing something in order for you to move forward. So it really feels like something in regards to your mindset, the way that you express yourself and the way that you communicate is changing in a big way this month. Furthermore, on July 18th, Mercury will be going retrograde, and this is happening in the sign of Leo, which for you rules your relationships, your one on one committed relationships, your partnerships. It rules over contracts and negotiations. And so, with Mercury retrograde, it feels like you are shaking something out with someone. This could be seeing you renegotiate a relationship. This could be the end of a romantic relationship, a long term relationship, um, especially because it rules your fifth house of love, dating, and romance. This could be the end of a partnership or a reworking of a partnership. And it feels like this is occurring because you're changing. You know, you are changing. You're no longer the same person anymore. So your relationships have to change and they have to either adapt with you or they die. Then on July 20th, Mars is going to conjunct the South Node in Virgo, which is your eighth house of death, rebirth, and transformation. So, wow, there's a powerful ending that is occurring in this area of your life. So, there could be a long held psychological trauma that you are releasing. There could be a long held fear and insecurity that you are releasing. You could be ending an intimate partner. This could be the end of a debt, the end of, um, maybe you're paying off a mortgage or you're paying off taxes. You're like letting go of some type of heavy burden that you've had in your life. And it feels psychological, it feels like this month you're really letting go of some type of long held psychological state that you were in, and it's really changing everything. Then on July 22nd, the sun is going to enter Leo, which is your seventh house of relationships. 24th, new moon in Leo. So there's some big focus around relationships. There's a new beginning in relationships. Again, because you are changing so much. So relationships have to change. Then on July 30th, Venus will enter Cancer, which is your sixth house of work, health, and daily routine. So this can make matters in regards to your daily life a little bit easier to deal with. You can have a nicer time, with work, or um, if you have a business and you provide services, this can go quite nicely. You can have good relations with your clients, with your employees if you have them. This can smooth over any health issues that you are having and just make daily life a little bit more pleasurable. So I hope that was helpful for you, Aquarius. Good luck.